direction, without a follow, without a mention. You really piping up on these. You gotta be nice for what to these.
Hey guys, it's Jerika. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm doing a brow tutorial and I am using NYX brow gel. So many people, I've done videos on this NYX brow gel before, so this is nothing new, but this is just an updated video. I'm doing some updated videos. So I've been using NYX brow gel for years now, and it's my holy grail. I had bought the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, took it back the next day. It was not working for me. It's not nearly the same. The dip brow got shiny and greasy, and it's not smudge proof like this is. So this is the NYX brow gel that I use. I get it in the color black. As you can see, I'm on the end of this tube. It kind of dries out quick. That's the only thing I don't like about it. So what I have to do is put a little dot on my hand. So I squeeze a little out, put a little dot on my hand. That way my body temperature can stop it from drying out, which really helps. Also, the next thing you're gonna need is a really defined eyebrow brush. Now, a lot of makeup companies sell eyebrow brushes, but they're not defined. And what I mean by defined is really thin. Like, it needs to be really thin like a line. If you guys can see how thin that is, like thin, so you can get those sharp lines, because that's how I like being able to do my brows. Next thing, you're gonna need some concealer. For concealer, I'm gonna use LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is the color Warm Honey. To apply the concealer, I'm gonna use a Real Techniques brush. This is called a detailer brush. So I use this to apply the concealer right here. To spread out the concealer, I just use like a flat eyeshadow brush, just any old flat brush. Like, as you can see, it's so old. The black part is ripping off, but it's okay. So my eyebrows are uneven, so I have to do both of my brows kind of simultaneously. Start some of this until I get it even. I've been doing a pretty good job lately. Another thing I like about the NYX eyebrow gel is a little bit goes a long way. Like, I put this big old dot on my hand, I won't even use most of it. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in it, and I kind of start in the middle of the brow just to get the excess off, because I need this first line that I'm gonna create to be sharp. Like, I need this line to not have any extra product on it creating a mess. I need this line to be sharp, okay? So wipe the excess off in the brow, and then I come back down, and I turn my head as I do my brow so I know how it's gonna look. And then I slowly turn my head and just follow my brow line. So I have the bottom of that done. And now I'm gonna do the other brow, do the exact same thing. Okay, I'm done with that brow. Now, as I can see, like, the lines are somewhat similar. Like, I can't get them 100%. My brows are never completely even, because that's just not how I was designed. So, but I get them as even as I can. So now I'm just gonna dip my brush back in here and slowly start filling up the brows. I don't know if you guys just seen that, but I literally just did this last brow like in one stroke. Like, if I don't get it right, I gotta start completely over, because I mean, you don't really have to start completely over. You can kind of fix it with concealer and just going back in and redoing, but I literally have to do that, y'all. So I did it that way, and then I gotta do this one. One swoop. I've gotten used to doing this, so don't think that I've just done this overnight. But so they're somewhat even now, so I'm just gonna work on filling them in, and then once I fill them in, then I do the concealer, shape the bottom, shape the top, and then that's how you make them even. I don't dip into any more product to do the front of my brow because I don't want it to be too dark. I've had days where it was too dark and I was like, ugh. And then I use the other side of the brush. I mean, this I guess it is a brush. The spoolie side, and just kind of drag it forward, just to make sure that it's not too harsh. And I go back in as needed. Like, doing brows for me is a bunch of going back and forth. So it's a bunch of erasing, replacing, erasing, replacing. Like, that's literally what it is. This is what they're looking like right now. So I can already tell that this brow is a little bit lower than this one, which is how they naturally are. So what I can do is bring this one up a little bit more if I needed to, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. What I'm honestly just gonna do is take concealer and just make sure that I can fix it. Like, I can make it look as even as possible with concealer. So I'm gonna take my LA Girl Pro concealer and, oops, I opened the wrong one. And Warm Honey. Get my little detailer brush, swipe, swipe, swipe. And I'm going to do this brow first. While the concealer is wet, I'm going to do the same to the other brow. Getting better and better. If it would just focus on me. There we go. So as you can see, it's getting a lot better. So I'm just gonna keep doing this over and over again. And I also, since this brow is a little bit lower, I need to take concealer on this side and make this brow a little bit lower. So I'm gonna take what's already left on it and just do one long swoop. Now normally the best, see how they're even now? Normally the best thing to do is to do this with the concealer that is your color above. And what I would totally normally do that, but this time I didn't. So if you're gonna do this, just make sure you blend well. I'm gonna do the same on this other eyebrow. See, if you turn your head while you do it, you get a perfect arch every time. That I realized. So now I'm gonna take that other flat eyeshadow brush and just like blend out this concealer a little bit. If you don't have to do all of this with your brows, you are blessed. I mean, I'm still blessed, but if you don't gotta do all this, then kudos to you. Like, some people can just fill in their brows, don't gotta use concealer, just fill it in with a little pencil and they're just done. Like, but for me, no, I gotta do the whole shebang, because if I don't, my brows are not going to look right. So now I'm going to take a fluffy brush. I don't even know what this is. I guess it's like a buffing brush. And I just buff away as much concealer as possible. What I'll use for this is my my NYX micro brow pencil, but I ran out, so I have my Kiss top brow pencil. So you can just go in and fix whatever needs to be fixed, fix any tails of your brow that needs to be fixed. Like, I like to go in with my pencil and do this, make sure they're even. And the more you do this, the better it gets. So don't expect, if you're a beginner, to just do your brows and they just slay. Like, that's not how makeup works in general. Like, you're not gonna start doing it and it just be bomb. Like, there's just no, I mean, if you can, then you have some talent. But for most people out here, we gotta practice for the longest time until we get it right. So it's generally blended out, if you guys can see. And this, like, it looks like there's a shadow there because of the camera, but trust me, there's not. And if there is, you can always go in with the beauty blender. You can always go in with your beauty blender and make sure there's no like extra concealer there. Now after I'm done doing my brows, what I like to do is set it with Sacha Buttercup. You can use any type of setting powder you want. And then I just take an angled fluffy brush, I dip it in my setting powder, and I set under my brows and above. I set, as you guys can see, I'm setting it. I don't know why my camera keeps focusing on this stupid mirror. Let me get it out of the way. So I focus, I'm losing my train of thought. So I set under my brow bone where I put the most concealer. So the brow bone under here, and I've just pat it in. I'm not baking or nothing, I'm just patting it in. Doing the same above the brows because it will get shiny. So you're just baking. I mean, you're not baking, you're just pressing it into the skin and kind of swiping it away. But as you can see, they look pretty darn good. This is what they look like. They look pretty good, if I must say so myself. The last step, which is one of my favorites, I had to pop my back, is doing highlighter. I like to use, these are my favorite highlighters. Milani, there's the Milani, this is the glowing one. Then there's the Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife. And then there's the Nika K New York Makeup Perfection Highlighter. So, I think though, what I'm gonna use today is it's my Ray Ray palette. I'm gonna use that on my brows today. I'm gonna use the color Radiance. So pretty, you guys. I hope you guys can see. So that's all I'm doing for my brows. As you can see, they look super cute. So what I would normally do now is do my face. I would put on my Milani matte primer, a little bit of bronzer, some mascara, a little bit of face powder, my Black Radiance Soft Focus face powder, and then I'm done. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you guys thumbs up and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on Snapchat to keep up with me in my daily life. Also, don't forget to check out my blogs, www.jerikasincere.com, and my travel blog if you want to become a travel agent. It's www.sisterhoodtravel.info. But I thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good day.